Ranma 1/2, The Very Beginning. A strange red-haired girl and a panda are seen running through the rainy streets of Tokyo, terrorizing the locals and decimating each other. But those are merely the first images we were privy to. The real beginning takes place many, many long years ago, back to Genma Saotome's humble beginnings, when he was just a toddler living under the care of his loving parents. We are all familiar with Ranma's father, Genma Saotome, who has remained a very prominent figure in Ranma's present. But what about Ranma's mother? What about Nodoka Saotome? There was a time when Ranma and his parents could have lived a simple, quiet life together, but often in life, things like pride get in the way. Ranma's future was already set, that he would marry one of Son Tendo's daughters and merge the two schools into one. But Genma found it absolutely necessary to put his son through the trials and allow him to excel in anything goes martial arts. Genma decreed that he would travel the world with his son, alone, and abandon his wife for the greater good. A mother's love, after all, would only make the boy soft. The breakup was heartbreaking and brutal. However, Genma wrote up a contract, a solemn vow that Nodoka would not see either of them again until Ranma finished his training and completed his passage into manhood. Clearly not thinking, as Genma often does, he wrote it into the contract that in the event they are all reunited and Ranma isn't 100% man, Ranma and Genma would have to commit ritual seppuku. Seppuku is a form of honorable suicide by disembowelment, practiced by samurai, performed by stabbing into the abdomen, moving the sword from left to right in a slicing motion, and spilling the recipient's entrails. What a touching family reunion! Nodoka reluctantly agreed to these terms, and should this outcome be reached, it would be she who wields the sword that spills the guts of husband and son. In turn, Genma duped the naive young Ranma into signing this contract. What a rat bastard! The two left Nodoka alone in a big empty house and commenced their training. They kept in regular contact with her. That was, until the accident. When Ranma first reached his teen years, his dad took him to the cursed training ground, Jusenkyo, where Ranma was knocked into the cursed spring Nyan-Ichuan. From then on, anytime he touches cold water, he turns into a girl. Genma fell into a cursed spring as well, Shanmao-Nichuan, which turned him into a panda. Now, God forbid your Ranma and Genma Saotome and Nodoka were to come back now. You'd be in deep doo-doo. And why is that? Well, here Genma promised to make a man out of Ranma, and he is half woman. Nodoka would be honor-bound to turn them both into sashimi. She is a loving wife and mother, but her honor, her promise, is high priority. And don't think she'll squelch on the deal. She, in fact, carries the sword, the murder weapon, on her at all times, like a looming executioner. Hence the birth of Lanko and Mr. Panda! Nodoka has not seen Genma's and Ranma's alternate forms, so should she come to the Tendo residence to visit, the two go incognito and she doesn't recognize them. Whew, close one. It is believed Nodoka Saotome just has impeccable bad timing and that she keeps missing Ranma and Genma, but nonetheless she is a family friend of the Tendos and visits them often. Except for the whole harakiri thing, you couldn't ask for a better mother than Nodoka. She is caring and nurturing, and a whiz around the homestead. Nodoka Saotome may be an excellent homemaker and an obedient wife, but that's not to say that she is a pushover. In fact, she is quite the opposite. She is a strong, independent woman who casts her own shadow in the world. She is hard-headed and strong-willed, not afraid to tell it like it is even though sometimes her bluntness can seem a bit harsh. She's like that really good teacher you had in school. You know, the one who broke your balls but you learned and benefited from, and you have nothing but fond memories of. That is Nodoka Saotome, in a nutshell. Nodoka and Akane Tendo share a very strong bond. Akane, having existed most of her life without a mother, looks up to Nodoka as a sort of surrogate parental figure. Akane may be a tomboy, but home economics and the idea of one day being a wife and running a household, these things excite her to the nines, and she's willing and eager to learn from Ranma's mom all the ins and outs. Poor Nodoka's got her work cut out for her. No words describe a mother's tears. No words can heal a broken heart. Nodoka has suffered long and hard for over a decade, waiting with bated breath for her son to return to her. And in that time, she has cried a river of tears. Every day, every second of her life, she has spent looking for her son, and she will not rest until she finds him. She even searches for him in her dreams. The sword she carries over her shoulder, she carries out of obligation. In her mind, she knows this is what Genma and Ranma would want from her. In her heart, Nodoka knows that the day she finds her son, he will be the impressive specimen she envisions him to be. For Ranma, this has been equally heart-wrenching. Though Lanko and Nodoka have shared some laughs, some fun adventures, some fuzzy memories, to not be able to appear before his mother as Genma Saotome, it is pure torture. She would have every reason to be proud of him, what he has become, if it weren't for that damn Nyan Ichiwan curse. Until he finds a cure, the charade must continue, and Nodoka will have to keep searching. But a mother is a superhero in many different ways. They give life, they nurture and care for their children. And we've all heard about that little thing called mother's intuition. A mother knows her child. With an ESP-like phenomena, a mother is in tune with things like feelings, emotions, proximity. Suppose a child appeared before his mother in a completely different form. Who's to say she wouldn't recognize him? Mother knows best, after all. And let's not forget, there's a certain truth to be told. In the eyes. Ranma's baby blues are a dead giveaway. It is possible, in fact, very probable, that Nodoka Saotome is, in fact, in the know. That would explain the motherly bond she shares with Lanko, not to mention the playful jab she takes at Mr. Panda. We will never understand the big picture. It will forever remain a mystery, and only one knows the truth. Sayonara, Mommy. This has been a Ranma 1/2 character profile. Special thanks go out to W33B33, Yuki Kuriruko, UgGamer15, Amber Angel 999, Fushigi Tenya Ranma, Animate84, Tiger Lover 191, Anime Hunter 23, Super Steef 4, Treeborn Kettle Girl, Patty 6485, Troa Vidal, Shippo 47, Real Warpit, Ranma and Akane Forever, Animated Fanatic, RC Machi, Rabid Sora Fangirl 95, Foolish Genius 89, and Gillig Fan for the requests.